4 cities. The all DLC, no mod build of Silver Shores. I'm 421, population currently 1171, cash 61,725, and growing to 1,900. Now this is really an important moment in the city. This little spot right here, because most people make a decision at this point to either just go for it, just grow as fast as you can, make it as big as you can, get those buildings in there, get those monuments in there. It's really not the best way to go. You want to make this stuff, these cities, when you're building your city, I like the idea of modular builds. Small communities joined together through transportation networks and supply chains. And here at Silver Shores, that's what we're going to be working on. The temptation, of course, is to jump right in here to the unique buildings, trying to get to the monuments and other things. But really, once you get to this second, third level, this is when the important decisions are made. And what that means is make sure you build in all the services and infrastructure so that your city grows in a sustainable way. Sustainability. This is why I think everyone should be required to play this game. Like, everybody should understand what it is to grow a city, because many, many, many cities just go gangbusters trying to grow as big as they can, as quick as they can, to get as much revenue as they can. And it's actually a bad idea most of the time. If you look around at the city you're in, what are people complaining about? Schools are overcrowded, right? There's not enough services, both police and fire. And, the infrastructure underneath the street when it comes to sewer and water lines is in some cases over 100 years old. So it's really important in your real cities and your virtual cities to build in that infrastructure and the densities so that you're not overwhelming yourself. Okay, so anyway, that's enough of that lecture. Today we are going to be building out our first industry zone, which is going to be forestry. Let's take a quick look in here. We can do forestry and farming. We still have to wait before we get into oil and ore, and that's okay. We're not ready for that. But let's build ourselves an industry area. And what we want to do is get all of this. Remember, we've already zoned this out for forestry, but this is for our industry. Because this is going to be important. This is going to be one of our big money makers right here. The Golden Woods. Okay. And let's go over here. We want to change this to... What should we change it, guys? What do we think here? Let's do... Golden lumber. Let's just go with that, golden lumber. I was going to throw paper in there, but no reason to get all crazy here, right? Okay. And we're going to go back over here to the zoning. We're going to make this just a hair bigger. Because one of the things we're going to be doing is we are going to add some residential zoning here just a little bit. And we want that to take on. We're going to keep it away from the shoreline there. That's for something else. But, okay. That's good. Okay, so the first thing we got to get in there, we're building an industry, is this, the office building. 20,000 for this one, so let's just get it right in here. Alright, so that opens the sawmill, small tree plantation, the log yard. And I think for now, remember we're going to be tearing a lot of this up later, but for now, let's just pull this out a little ways. There we go. Okay. And then when it comes to the forestry industry, I usually use these undeveloped sort of dirt roads. And we're just going to go back here into the industry area. They're less expensive, cheaper to maintain. Let's get ourselves... Alright! We're in the lumber business. Now, one thing I want you to notice is you have some choices here. Alder Beech, okay, which is this one. Nice, right? But you can also go conifer, and that kind of goes with what's happening here in Silver Shores. So we'll stick to that. Need to get a water line out there. Pull this down a little bit, and then we're just going to go up here just enough. There we go. I'm trying to save cash still. Goes quick. Okay, so we're in the forestry business. Now, we are going to need a sawmill. And keep an eye where I place that. This is... I've had different experiences, but you want to try and get the sawmill down the road, close by, and right down the road from wherever you're producing the raw material. So you can just take it right there, directly from where the supply chain is. You kind of build your supply chain around here. Okay? And so right off the bat, right, the sawmill here needs the raw materials to make some lumber. And so we're just going to take a quick moment here and wait for the truck to arrive. So we can do our first load of lumber. Now, one thing when you do this, and you'll see this anyway, but you need to get enough supply going from the forest, the raw forest products, so you don't start importing. Like, you can get this industry going, but if you're not producing enough trees, you'll end up importing, and that costs you money before you start making money. So you don't really want to do that. Okay. So it's all making sense now, right? Supply chain, inputs, outputs, cash in your pocket. That's what we're after. Okay. Then the other thing we want to watch here is what's it going to take to get to the next level. Okay, we're producing resources. We need 150 workers. Okay, so let's put in a couple more. There's that one. And should we do one more just for fun? Just throw a log yard in there. Now, the log yard can be helpful, but don't go crazy with these things. You literally clog up the road with supply trucks going back and forth, and it doesn't do you that much good. So now we're going to look over here in the log yard just to check this out. Balanced is where I usually sit. You can also go with fill, and it'll just sit there always full, waiting. And you can export it or use it yourself, or you can empty it out just to get the money. Like, you literally can fill this thing up and then hit empty, and you will get cash in your account very quickly. So right now we're going to stick to balance. It'll keep it about halfway, but that'll be good right down the road here from our sawmill, because that will always keep that supplied. Okay. Let's take a look at what else we have opened up. The parks. Okay, we can build a park now if we want, an amusement park, a zoo, a nature reserve. We're going to hold off on that right now. All the landscaping is open for the most part. Don't really spend a lot of time on this until you get everything built out and look at where the holes are that you need to fill in. And it really doesn't do anything for the game except aesthetics, which is important. Not saying it's not. Unique buildings, we will come back to that. There's a lot of this stuff opened up now, but they're expensive, and I don't know that we need them at this moment. We need to get some of this infrastructure stuff. Parks, this is a place we're going to concentrate. This drives the value of your residential areas and some of your industrial way up. Okay, you can see, look what happened there. The truck came out, filled up the log yard, even though the lumber mill is the one that needs the, robots. This is what happens when you turn it all over to robots. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're going to need some more residential. That's why. And what we're going to do for this is pull it down this way. We want to keep the intersection over here. And I don't want to go down too far. Because that's going to be our very expensive Silver Shores development eventually. We'll see kind of where this goes, but this is where we're going to put a little bit of housing so that our workers don't have to go very far. Reduces the traffic too. If you can get just a little bit of residential in there, it does reduce traffic overall in the city if they're close to where they work. So let's do that. Remember, we're using University City for these. And we'll get a look here what that looks like. Yeah, we better add 3 more here, just so we're even on that. Boop. And then we're going to add a couple of commercial locations. Again, it's this idea of micro builds or modular builds. There's a little bit of space between this area here and this area here. Okay. And so we want to add in some housing and some commercial so that these people here who are working don't have to go very far. Reduces traffic, more efficient, all the good things. Over in this part of the city, as you can see, we need more educated workers. We're going to need a high school. We've got the community school and a university at some point. So, and I think we'll take this out just a little bit. We're going to finish this off because we're going to be building along the coastline here eventually. And let's bring this down. Let's go out a little bit more. I've been kind of leaving about a 2 square space. You can modify it however you like. I just don't like to be on top of each other. And okay. It's kind of not exactly where I want this, but once we get into high density, this is probably all coming up anyway for the most part. So we'll just leave that like that for now. Well, let's see. Yeah, I'll take that back. I need the cash. I'm not sure if you can see this, but the reason I choose the University City build for the residential in this area of the forestry section is it's kind of rustic, huh? You like the beat up old non-working truck there in the front for the kids to play on, right? Yeah. It just works well in some of these forestry industrial areas, other places. You can make these choices anytime you make a zone, and I use this particular build for different reasons. But in this case, it's going to be housing for our forestry workers here at Silver Shores. So we definitely have a need for more residential. Let's check out the water supply in this area and see if, okay, I guess we can drag this down just a hair more, just so it's covering everybody. Okay. And we can add in some more housing. And I think I'm just going to take this down all the way to about here. Maybe not quite that far. Let's leave that corner open. Okay, so I think at this point, if we have, let's check how much it will cost. We need a park in here. It doesn't need to be that big. It's a large playground. Here's the small park. It's only 1,000, so this is pretty good. Let's see how this is going to go. A lot of times I'll put this near the school, but I don't know if it's going to fit this time. Squeeze it in here that way. I think we might go to this location. We're going to displace a few people, but that's okay. It's just robots. There we go. Smiley faces all around. And we want this location because we want it to affect, I don't know if you saw how the area it affects. See that? This one park is going to increase the value of all of these properties. So that's why we kind of try and put it in the middle and build the community around it. You want to do that with all your assets for the most part, depending on their range. Okay. Let's go down this way. Those in there. Now I have a feeling we get hit with a power brownout soon enough. Let's see. Oh, no, we're doing pretty good there. Okay. I guess we're okay. Let's go ahead and add in some more now. Again, we're going to leave this here on the end out. Okay. And I'll leave that right there. Okay. We've reached a point here at Silver Shores where our economy, let's just take a look here real quick. Okay, so after adding the industry, that expense has gone way up, but the income coming in from that lumber industry has not happened yet. And as we're still adding people, what happens is the industry takes a little while to mature. So let's go take a look at where we are. Production. Yeah, see, we're importing too much lumber to satisfy the need here at the sawmill, so we're going to add in a couple more tree plantations. See if we can correct that. We got to be careful. Yeah, these are 4 each. 4,000. Let's throw it in. Good production though. 48 tons a week each, so that's a lot. I think they're also importing in here to the lumber yard. That might be part of the issue as well. Yeah. That's where the import is coming in, to fill up the small log yard. Okay. So that expense will actually go down once it starts to get filled up. But yeah, you can just see all the trucks coming in with all the lumber. Lots of importing. We're still short some workers. Let's go see what else we got here. Got our fire department, we've got our police department. We don't have any disaster services. Might need that. Okay, we've got our health care. We are going to need a high school, and we are going to need a university. And, you know, the other thing we're going to need to get into, well, that's not until the next level. Okay, so the other area we're going to look into building out as this fills in a little bit is our fishing industry. Now this is a great industry you can add in. You don't necessarily have to make a area for that, a zone. You just need a good long coastline to drop it into and then make a fishing route. So we're going to need a little cash to build this out. And after that, you can do the fish market, which is great. And then after you collect enough fish, you can build out into some of the specialty areas. And we can even take and see what fish there are in our little area here. Okay, mostly salmon, a little tuna. Sometimes it's really hard to find tuna. And then once we get out in the ocean, there's some anchovies out there, but lots of salmon. And tuna. I want the tuna. Okay, so where are we going to put our fishing area? And I think, honestly, right over here is the good spot. we can continue to build out, at least for now, till we open up this area over here. But for right now, I think we can put the fishing village right here, kind of at this end of the city, and continue to build out the residential area here in the forestry. We can use workers from this area to the little fishing village we're going to do, and also the forestry area. So, all right, let's add in a few more homes here, because we're going to need these people. Let's take it down to there. And how about there? Okay. All right. Well, it's time to start stockpiling cash so we can build our fishing village. We've added in the fishing industry at Silver Shore, so this is good, another income stream. Population up to 1610, so we're getting very close to the 1700 mark we're trying to hit, or 1900, sorry. And we've added in some residential zones here. We're going to make this neighborhood a little bigger. We want to make sure there's enough workers for the fishing industry and the forestry industry both. And we've extended this road here. There's a little competition between the Forestry Industry 4.0 area over here and then the regular zone forestry. This can be quite a traffic jam eventually, and we may have to actually make this road bigger at some point. But yeah, be aware of that. The Industry 4.0 and then the zoned industry can end up competing with each other. And this can be especially true when you're trying to do ore or oil operations. If you're mining for ore or drilling for oil and you want to do the 4.0 industry, just be careful if you do some zoned industry as well, because you'll find yourself competing. Alright. Here's a fire. Where's a fireman? What's going on here? I don't even see the flames. Could be a fire. Whoa! That was an instant blaze. Here comes the fire department. Let's see if they get this thing out. We're going to probably have to add another fire department over in the forestry area, because once that gets going, you'll see fires. Anytime you have forestry, there's fires there all the time. And it's good to just put another department out there to keep it all stable. Fire departments are effective. They just douse it really quick, but you gotta have enough of them. Alright, got that under control. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna need one more fire department at least. We're gonna need another park, potentially another school. We're gonna need to build the fish market out here. And also change the transportation a little bit, extend the road so these people here have a direct route. That'll probably open up a couple other areas for development as well. Lots of leveling up going on. This is good. We should probably quickly check the property values here. See what's going on. I told you this is how you win the game right here. Okay, so we're up to blue, which is kind of in the middle. We're going to see some green areas start to develop a little bit. Okay, looks good. And we can even go over to the economy and just see like where it's all coming in. Okay, yeah, we got lots of level 2 residences. Some commercial going up, but we just really haven't gotten into this yet. Now look at the forestry, huh? Now, I like this view because it shows you the forestry that's zoned and then also the forestry of 4.0. And look at the difference all of a sudden. That's where you could really make the money in some of those Industry 4.0s. That's where it starts coming in. The normal industry up there, look, 665. I mean, we could add to that, but, you know, Level 1, 2, 3, it's nothing compared to the Industry 4.0. So favor that in your development. And no transportation yet. Oh yeah, let's take a quick look here. And look at the income to expenses ratio. We're almost 2 grand in the plus there. So this is a city that's in balance. This is primed for good growth as long as we maintain the services and just adding in these modular builds. So as you can see, a little problem there with the we're going to need another recycling center. Let's take a look how much that is. Again, you got to watch what you put in, but at some point, okay, 16,000. Now we're going to hold off on that. They're going to have to wait. And let's see what else. Probably need to add a park in here at some point. Should probably deal with the issue with the roads. Alright, so one thing we want to do is along this coastline, because this is going to be real valuable eventually, is build a road from here over to our fishing village. That's where our next little area of growth. We're going to go freeform here. Might lose a house in the process. And do you see how I'm trying to keep the line? I don't want it right on the beach, but close, because that's going to get me the most value for the land once we start building this out. Okay, and that leaves us a little room. We want to put in the fishing market and some of the other industries associated with that. Okay, so that opens that up. We can do some commercial in here. I think we could probably extend the neighborhood this direction here. Okay, that's good. So when we add empty road space like there's a maintenance cost. We want to develop that as quickly as possible. Just leaving stray roads undeveloped, that gets expensive. And we're already at this nice little spot. We're making about 2 grand a week, and we don't want unnecessary expenses coming in, so you got to develop this right away. I think over here we're going to get an elementary school. We can do this 2 ways. We could move the trade school and drop an elementary school in there, which we may do, or we can just build another school. Yeah, it's a tough decision. I think we're just going to move it. Now here's how you move a building. Not too tough. Just click over here to this, and boy, this thing's only half full. So yeah, we gotta get some more kids in these schools. Alright, I'm going to push this way over here because it's not the best place for it. Okay, there we go. And now we're going to drop an elementary school into this location. I think we have enough, yes. And then we can pick up one little commercial. Nice little kind of neighborhood store, hopefully. Let's see what we get. We'll leave a little space there. And I think we can squeeze one more residential. So we just kind of make it small. There. Okay. Looking good. Small water issue. Not surprised. Okay, so when it comes to these, this water connection, because we're going to have to take that up this way, cover all this new development. And it's always good with your water system to have a loop. That's what the little bell is for. I'll let you know you did it. Okay. That's a nice little house there, huh? It's like for 2 people and a dog. Alright. Well, things are filling in nicely, 1633, and I think we're going to touch off, probably need a little more cash, and then we'll go for another growth spurt here. We've got some areas zoned out. We should probably think about what we're going to do with this space. That is some good residential, especially if we were to take this back here. This would be another good area for some residential. We can also look at a unique building or two. See what's available here. We don't want to go too crazy with this. We're saving these. Hypermarket? Nah, I don't think we're going to do that. These little plazas, that's for other things. Friendly neighborhood park? Yeah, I don't know. It's not. What's this one here? The Mall of Moderation. Okay, that's like 20,000. All right, we might drop that in just for fun. We should probably zone in some of these residential areas, get this land value up, because this is big stuff here. All right, I think I'm going to add one more here. And let's leave that open. Put some of these in. Let's fill this in. And just for fun, we might as well add in a couple more of these little ones. But in this spot, I like to add small little commercial, 4 squares, something like that. Just so there's a little bit of commercial in the neighborhood. Small stores, laundromats. Just some services. Not everybody wants to drive to the center of town. Alright, this is filling in nicely. Waterside residential is where you really make money on taxes. One good thing, our tax rate is still at 9% at Silver Shores, and we'd like to keep it that way. We'd make it even lower if possible, but in these growth stages you do need some revenue just to keep your growth up. Growth generally does not pay for itself. You have to pace it out and pay as you go. Most people who control that sort of thing don't like to admit it, but it's true. Okay. I think we're going to leave this open. This is going to be some more commercial fishing activity going on over here, so I'm going to hold off on that. Lots of good growth. And you just watch as the value of these, waterfront properties goes way up. Let's take a look at what our land values are right now. Okay, well, as you can see, we want it to go green, blue to green, but we are seeing some dark blue in there. So, all right, take a careful look here. I don't know if you can see the pollution from the heavy industrial area. This is why I try and limit that. There will be a day when 4 cities makes nothing but heavy industry a part of the city, just so we can see how that goes. But generally, when I'm making a green city, like Silver Shores, we try to keep that as minimal as possible. There's going to be some of it in some areas, but it does cause a lot of pollution. We're trying to keep it as clean as possible. That's why we use wind turbines, geothermal, and other sources of power that we'll talk about. Yeah, look at the land values going up. All the services are in. Our coastline is starting to develop. Silver Shores is coming along nicely. We're almost getting ready to crest 1700. And as we get more cash in the door here, we will be developing another area just to boost our growth over that 1900. In fact, let's see if we can get a little more road network in here. Going to go up by the park. But we're not going to go all the way here. We need to leave that space open because of the industry that's up there. Otherwise, we're going to find ourselves in a weird spot. So I don't think we want to connect all that. We want to keep this separate. Okay, so we'll go up to right here. And then I'm going to go over past where I want to go because I want to make sure I have enough road to... Oh, not enough money. Okay, all right. Let's speed this up so we can get some more cash in the door. very busy here at Silver Shores. More people moving in, more people going to work. This is what we want to see. More fishing. Heck yeah. Bring in the tuna. Chicken at the sea. Yeah, that's it, right? Okay, let's add in this road. More residential. And we might be able to squeeze one more in here. Let's see what we can do. Yeah, I don't want to go that far. There we go. Perfect. Yay. Let's cut this guy off. And we should probably take this out because let's zone out some more residential. Probably need to get the water up in this area as well. Let's just pull this one over. Perfect. Okay. How about that, huh? Okay, we still have to add in a high school. We still want to add in the Mall of Moderation. And we still have some more of the fishing village to add in here. Let's go quickly and take a look at what our forest industry is doing here. Yeah, the plain timber still, we're using our own production. But the plain timber is just not happening. And I believe it's this thing right here. Let's, when we get some more cash, we'll add in a couple more plantations. We should probably see how far we are on workers. Yeah, we need at least one more plantation. We've got enough resources produced to get up to the next level in our forest industry. But we need one or two more plantations to make that crest. Coming along nicely here at Silver Shores. I think we're let's pause the game here for a moment and zone in some more residential. All the way up here and this down here. Got to be careful with this in the back here because of the noise level. But let's just take a risk, right? That's what it's all about, taking a risk. And we'll wait there. See these little extra squares here? That's where I usually put a little commercial. Same on this side. Guess the road wasn't exactly straight. That's okay. Okay. So we're down to about here. Okay. Now, with some of these odd-shaped ones, let's drop in a little commercial. There we go. And right here. Could probably go over one more. Alright. Sure, why not? It's a little close to these houses, but that's okay. Let's see what happens. And right here, I think, is where we'll drop that Mall of Moderation. It's a little noisy. I don't know, maybe we'll put it down here. We'll see. Gonna need some more cash first. Anything else we want to add in before we... I don't think so. All right. Let's let it go. Now the populations could actually pop to 1900 here really fast. Just by adding a few streets like that, your population can go up. And you have to be careful because it can overwhelm your services quickly. Like that fire department we need. $18.47, we're getting close. Let's slow down the game here, back to normal speed. Still gonna need that high school. Not enough educated workers. Small cash for that. Nice income level though, 25, almost 2,500 a week. Let's see just for kicks what the fish market's going to cost us here. 15,000 for that one. 15,000. And then the high school, we're going to need that. We're going to need another park. In fact, should we drop that in now? Let's see what a large playground is. 7,500. Small playground, 1,250. We'll take that. We'll go right here by the school. Boom. Smiley faces all around. And there you go, just like that. 1,900. Opened up another tile, so that's 2 we have in reserve. Transportation opens up, including trams, tours, buses. The tourism comes in. It's a little early now. We could probably build a walking tour around the fishing area or something. Ferries. We will not be doing ferries early on, but possibly later. I wish there was a route to go around the tip of the peninsula there, but so far we haven't been able to survey that out. Lots of new policies we can put in. Lots of new roadways, including roundabouts and intersections over freeways. Bike lanes coming up. We can start doing bicycles. We can start doing walking paths. Elder care, child care, cemeteries. Yeah, we're going to have to do one of those. There will be people who will be dying in Silver Shores. The advanced wind turbine is good. This is a wind turbine that goes in the water, and they generate twice as much power. Let's see, trams, and we can do some emergency shelters and disaster response. The biofuel bus depot. Now, in a green city, if you're going to do buses, you want to try and go biofuel. And the wave power plant, I've had mixed results with that. And then also the fish factory. This is another important part of our industry when it comes to fishing. And we'll also got the post office in there. So there's a lot of new services to add here at this 1900 level, and it's important you do it before you grow the city too far. So we have a little capital to work with. I think it's time to put in our high school. And that is, we have 2 to choose from. There's this, about 24,000. They're pretty expensive, but it does really make a difference. Capacity of 1,000. Here's the other design capacity. I think we're going to go with this one. Takes up a little less space. And we want this to be in a place that's sort of central to cover everybody. And we're going to connect our forestry residential area to this with using some paths. So let's just get it right in here. See how everybody lights up except that area? So we'll need to, expand the road network or the path network out there. Let's give one little space. Boom. Smiley faces all around the whole city, so that's a good thing. Okay, that leaves us with about 19,000. One of the other things I think we should lay in here right now is the fire department, because that eventually will be an issue. So let's just do that now. And it's 12,000. I'm going to go with this style right here. And there you go. Might need to fix this power line real quick. Yep. There we go. now this icon over here, this about the educated workers, shortage of educated workers, that's what the high school should fix. A brand new high school here. Silver Shores. Well, we're going to pile up some cash and let things mature a little bit. I think let's add in one more. I've got enough here for one more tree plantation. I think it would be good to add that in because then we can level up that. We are so close when it comes to our tree plantation. Forestry service. Let's take a look here. Yeah, 10 more workers. 26 jobs available. Total profit though, look at that, negative 217. So this is why it's not working out so good. And it's basically because we're operating this lumber mill at a loss. See, zero. Plenty of cash coming out for the raw forest products, but yeah, not our plain timber. I have a feeling it's the competition from this. We may zone that out next time just to clean that up. Oh, there you go. Okay, so a lot of new things to build here. The biomass pellet, that's paper, but it also opens up our first unique factory, the furniture factory. So we'll be putting that in next time. Forestry workers barracks makes it much more efficient. Sawdust storage, I kind of skipped that one. They're very much like the lumber yard, and so it's not until we have many, many of these tree plantations does that start to make sense. Okay, so things are looking good there. Well, I think we've accomplished our goals. Set us up for next time. This is Silver Shores. 4 cities.